Hey guys, I'm coming to you from my closet. I just did a live video on YouTube and I told you guys that I was going to be sharing some of the things that I learned from doing therapy. But I'm in my closet and the reason why, I'll get to that, but the reason why is because I find that this is one of my safe spaces. I don't know if you guys ever have to do this, but as a mom, okay, I have had to look for a place where my kids are not at, even though they're really good about being in their rooms and about living in, not living, or staying in the living room and stuff. They know when mom has to do a video or when mom is busy, mom closes the door to her room. But still, I know that the wall still allows some of the information to kind of creep through. And so they can hear what I'm talking about. And so that's why I usually do it. I usually do it in my room with the door closed, but today I'm doing it here in my closet because this is my safe space. This is where I come and I kneel and I say my prayers. This is where I come and I cry sometimes. I've also cried in the shower. It's not the only place where I've cried because I like to be strong and I like to be brave in front of everybody, but sometimes I have those moments, especially like when I lost my dad. I had a hard time allowing people to see me. I had a hard time allowing my husband to hug me or hold me or stuff like that. I've always been the kind of person who likes to be strong in front of everybody. And so I usually take my tears, if it's not in the shower, I take my tears here to the closet. And so I brought you here into my little safe space. And yeah, so I'm not going to show you my whole entire closet, but it's a pretty good size. But I will show you, I have a picture here of Jesus Christ right here. My husband drew that picture, and I think that it kind of helps me know that I can come here and just be at peace. And I'm the kind of person who doesn't like to be in like small spaces because I get a little bit, I get a little bit anxious, but it's a pretty good size. There's a vent in here. I get some air. I don't feel, restricted in any way. It might need to be cleaned up again. I did declutter a lot of clothes and did get rid of a lot of stuff. And, but, daily wear clothes and all that stuff, sometimes gets unfolded. And right now I'm actually sitting on a basket with a bunch of clothes. And, the reason why is because my therapist thinks that I need to she advised me, she gave me some, she wants me to have better habits about sleeping because I've been struggling with sleeping. I had a really hard time sleeping. I've always been a dreamer. I've always had like lots of dreams and stuff, and sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. And well, last night I had a bad one and I wasn't feeling the best. I didn't get the best quality sleep. And so I mentioned that to her and we talked a little bit about it. She wants me to be better about only sleeping in my bed and not to use it for eating or for being on my phone or for doing just a bunch of stuff on my bed. So she wants me to be more like, just use my bed for what it's meant to be, which is sleeping and resting. So it's kind of hard for me because it's a big switch, because since I've always had back injuries and I have to like lie down and work from my bed, I've had a lot of bleeding issues. You guys know this. You guys have been following me for such a long time. I don't have those problems. I don't have that problem, particularly the bleeding part, because I did have a hysterectomy. I don't have that problem, but I still have my back injuries. And there are times where I just can't move and I'm like stuck in my bed for like 10 days or like 8 days. I've had those issues where I'm confined to my bed sometimes. And so, it's kind of hard for me to develop that habit right away because I worked from home. I would work from my bed because I get a lot of swelling on my legs. I get a lot of swelling on my feet. Today I think I did pretty good. I did therapy at 9 o'clock with her, finished at 10. And then I went to go talk to my kids. I told them I was done, talked to them a little bit. Would talk to my daughter because my son was still, he had gotten up early, but then he went back for a little nap because he woke up too early. And so my daughter was hearing me out, and I was telling her some things, not everything. I was just kind of telling her, hey, like I can't be doing certain things anymore. Like I have to be better about not going to sleep so late. Y'all need to like help me in going to sleep earlier. I can't be going to sleep so late. I told her about, I have to develop better habits about like not eating or doing stuff on my bed. She's like, well, good luck. And I was like, I know, right? And so that's hard. That's a hard one to do, but I did pretty good today. Right after that, I asked her, we were talking, I don't know how we ended up talking about Pinterest, and, she came to my room to help me, and she helped me set up Pinterest. I had one before, but I really don't know how to work it. And so she helped me, and she was like, I feel like a teacher. And I was like, thank you, Princess. I was going to give up, but she's like, no, I can do it. And so she was helping me to do it. So she did help me install it on my phone, and she helped me, put it on my computer. And so we were doing that for a while. So I got to sit at my desk. I really don't sit at my desk, guys. I really haven't ever since like last year in August when I stopped working. I just did not want to have anything to do with my computer. I could not move anymore. I was just so swollen and so much in pain that I didn't want to do it anymore. And so I just stopped working on my desk because I knew that my feet would blow up. My legs would hurt so much. And that's why we ended up joining the gym, because I knew that I was going down a wrong path. And the same thing with my husband. And so we enrolled in a gym because of that. And so now having to switch from not doing anything on my bed is going to be really, really hard, but I feel like it's going to develop a good habit, and I'm up for the challenge. I did take a little bit of a rest a little while ago. I'm not going to lie. I was on my phone for a little bit. I was like, ugh. So I quickly got up. I went to eat at the kitchen, and I was standing up in my kitchen. I do have a dining room table, but I've just never used it, guys. I have a bunch of things piled up there. I really don't use the dining room table. We usually eat in our living room as a family. And if not, me and my husband will just take something to the bed and we'll eat there. We don't really ever sit in the dining room table. I don't even know why I need it, but I bought it and it's there. And so anyway, so I have to do that. The other thing is I have to work on a log. I have to work on a log from here until my next session. I have to work on a log on, like the day that I, put the day on it and the amount of hours I was able to sleep and how the quality was. I'm a mom, for one, and two, I have a hard time sleeping. It's either because I get up at night to go to the bathroom, or like I'm a very light sleeper and I hear a pin drop. So like I'm always like on protect mode. I don't know why I'm like that. I don't know. I've just, ever since I became a parent, I guess, my husband's not that way. When my husband goes to sleep, he goes to sleep. But me, I can hear anything. And so ever since my kids were little, my son would creep in the middle of the night trying to get his iPad, right? And so like I developed this like this little hearing thing, and like when you're pregnant, you usually get the nose enhanced and you can smell everything. Well, I still have that, and I have like an enhanced ear where I can hear a pin drop. So like I'm the kind of person that I put things, and I know people are going to think I'm weird, but I do this, and I've always done this. I put things on my door to hear if something is happening, like a little, like little chimes or whatever. I can hear if somebody's trying to open the door, or like I would put things on my kids' windows and stuff to make sure like if something happened or something knocked down, I could hear it. Like I've just always been a person who lives on protect mode. And so it's hard for me because I was brought up that way. My dad was so protective, and I don't know if he just instilled all that stuff in me, but becoming a parent has also brought those things to me. And so she wants me to get better quality sleep. And she asked me, when do I get my good quality sleep? And I said, when I got my good quality sleep, when I had NyQuil. When I took NyQuil these past 2 weeks when I was sick, that was the best quality sleep I had gotten. I took that NyQuil and I knocked out, and I felt so good. I'm not trying to say everybody get on NyQuil, no. But honestly, it's the only time I was able to shut it down. Just shut it down, and I don't even care. My husband is going to bed. He's going to work in the morning. I can feel him giving me the kiss, but it's like, let me sleep, and I will continue to sleep. So it's just a really great way that I get some uninterrupted sleep. And I know I can't rely on NyQuil, but it is really, really great at helping me sleep. I know it's not good for me, because it does have, all the the med in it. But anyway, that's some pretty good sleep right there. I'm just saying, for a person like me that overthinks everything and that is always worried about responsibilities and about being perfect at so many things and trying to get everything done, and just, I hate the what ifs, and I can sit there and just be, and half the time, and my son is this way as well. My daughter will turn in her phone and she doesn't care, and she will knock out. She's like my husband. But my son, if you let him stay with an electronic, he will scroll all night, or he will play games all night. He is like me. Until he's completely exhausted and tired and he just can't do it anymore, then he will sleep. So, yeah, I do have to do that log. She had me watch 2 clips that I thought were really cute, but also put things into perspective for me about how the brain works. And she was able to send me the links. And I know that those are going to help me. I'm going to be able to process them and be able to rewatch them and understand that sometimes they're just thoughts, and that we just need to, be a little bit curious and be like, oh, I wonder why I thought that, but not dwell on it as much, and I have a problem with dwelling. I don't know if it's just me, or it's just women in general, that we dwell on things. I'm the kind of person, like, if I had something bad happen to me in the morning, I will carry it all the way through until I talk it out and I can figure out what was going on. My husband is completely different. He's an on and off switch. He could have had a bad day at work, and, he could be perfectly fine hugging me and kissing me when he gets home. He's, like I said, I wish sometimes I had an on and off switch, but I don't. I need to develop one. Maybe that's why I'm trying to do this, because I'm trying to develop one. Something else that we talked about was, so it was a good quality sleep, the homework. Oh, I was able to read my 3rd letter. The last session and the last videos I shared with you, I told you that I was able to read the letters to my dad, and that those were hard for me. This time I was able to read the 3rd letter, and that was to my strong self. And I did really good, I felt, until the very end, when I said that I knew that my Heavenly Father loved me, and that my Savior loved me, the Lord loved me. That I kind of broke down, because I know that they do, and I stand very firmly in that, because they've shown me multiple times, and I know that they do. And I read the part where I can stand alone, and I can stand for them, and, and that I'm strong and I'm brave and all these things. And so she smiled as she heard me, and she did ask me how I felt about it. And I told her that I felt like it was easy for me to write that letter. I feel that I do know those things because of all the things that have happened to me, and that I've seen their hand in my life. And that's why I share as much as I do on social media. And I try to bring hope, and I try to bring positivity, even though sometimes I'm struggling myself. I put those things out there to remind myself and to help others to have hope, to stay positive. I know people are struggling. I'm struggling, but we can do this. We have heavenly help, and we can be on higher ground. And so I'm smiling today compared to the other sessions. I feel like the session was good. I prayed a couple of minutes before my session. I wanted it to be powerful. I wanted it to be something that helped me. I did feel like at the beginning, I was like, oh, why did I start with saying, you know, I was struggling with sleeping, or like, we went over, cause I have to do like 60 questions before I do my session. And so she kind of did notice a difference in them. And so she asked me what was going on. And I did tell her I was having some heart palpitations, and I was struggling to breathe a little bit yesterday. And even though yesterday was a good day for me, I felt like I was just struggling. Right before getting to bed, I felt like my blood pressure was up, and I never really struggled with that until after my dad passed away. I started struggling with that, and I was prescribed some high blood pressure medications by the doctor, but I just never really I probably took them like once or twice, guys. I never really took them because I felt like I didn't need them, and I didn't want to get on medications and stuff. And so I checked my blood pressure, and to most people, it wouldn't be so high. I've always had low blood pressure. I've always been like 110 or 100 over 80 or like 110 over 70. I've always had like low blood pressure. I've never really had high blood pressure. So high blood pressure for me was like when I was going to have my kids, and people were questioning, why are you even here? And I was like, well, because they're like, you're not even that high. I'm like, but it's high for me. So I was like at 133 over 79, which is not super high. And you guys are probably like, it's not even bad. But for me, it is. I was feeling chest pains. I was feeling like anxiety, but chest pains. I was feeling like my heart was hurting. I was kind of massaging myself. I was kind of like trying to calm myself down. And I told my husband how I was feeling. And I'm not sure if it was because I knew I was going to have the session, or if it was just because of the day. We had been out. I do have a sun allergy. I don't think I was too much in the hot sun, but I did go out to have lunch with my husband, and I did take my son to a few stores just to go and walk, to look at some stuff, because he wanted to look to see which shoes they had and all that stuff. We didn't buy anything or anything because we didn't have the money for it, but we wanted to get some walking done. He wanted to be out. We're always home. And so, and the reason why we went out was because I was trying to find a school for them, and that didn't work out. And so we ended up going to have lunch with my husband. I don't think I overdid it. I just feel like, I don't know. I don't know if it was just being out and doing all that walking that I'm not really used to. Usually here at home, we haven't really been going to the gym because I've been sick. Maybe it was because I was sick. I don't know. So, yeah. Anyway. So, what else? I did do another video on YouTube, guys, and they're gonna be different. I can't remember the exact same thing to say. So if you guys want to go watch that and get more information, go do that. But I'm going to try to do my best to share what I remember right now. They're going to be completely two different videos, but I'm doing them so that in case you all need any help, or to be able to create better habits, I try to do these so that it can help somebody in some way or somehow. If me being vulnerable or me being a little bit open on here helps somebody else, great. If what I can bring you is, some good ideas, some good advice, then great. But what I want to bring you is find a safe space, even if it's your closet, like I am right now. That is why I'm sitting in my closet, because I am trying to create better habits. I'm trying not to be on my bed. I normally would have been doing this video on my bed, and I'm not. I'm actually sitting here on this basket in my closet, but this is a very safe space for me. It's a very dear space for me because this is where I cry. This is where I come when I have a problem, or I want to talk to my sisters, or I need a vent and I don't want anybody else to hear me. This is where I come. And I'm grateful for a space sometimes that I can just get away from everything and be able to process and think and come to my Heavenly Father or Jesus Christ and just be open. And that's what we need. We need to have a safe space. So remember that. Remember to kneel and pray, and remember to see all the good things in your life and try not to dwell on all the bad things. And I know that it's easier said than done, but I'm trying. And if I can try, you can try. And so, yeah. Another thing is, try to get good quality sleep, like the advice I was given. I'm trying. I really do try to get good quality sleep, but I just have so many things in my head, and I'm always trying to be the overachiever. And I know that nothing is going to be perfect, but I always try my best at everything that I do. And I know that sometimes I can overdo it. I guess I get that from my dad a lot, because he was like that. He helped me develop that. What can I say? The good, working, I don't know. I'm just a good worker. Okay. I'm the kind of person that stays till the end of the night until she finishes her work. And at times I had to be told at work that, hey, you will have enough time to work on it tomorrow. And now I tell that to my husband, and I tell it to my kids, and I tell it to other people. Hey, yeah, córtale. But I have a hard time doing that myself, because I like to be that person who works hard, and I try my best, and I have a lot of perfectionist in me. I'm not perfect, but I try my best to do the job as best as I can. And so, yeah, that. So I do need to develop some good quality sleeping habits, bedtime habits. I need to be more aware of my thoughts and not overthink things. And that's hard for me, but I know I can do it. I can do it. I'm learning to do it, and I'm going to do it. And I'm going to learn to live more presently. That is something that we did talk about me living more presently. And I think I did pretty good. This past week, since the last session. I was able to even give some advice to my son. I was able to live more presently and even share some of the things that I've been learning with them. And let me see what else I'm trying to process as I'm talking, guys. That's why I do these videos, so that I can also go back to them and let them help me, not just help others, but also help me. And I just really love her so much. I love the connection that I have with her. I think she's amazing. I think she brings so much love and light into my life. I don't feel judged. I feel like she understands. I feel like she brings such good energy and such amazing advice, and just no judgment, just helping me understand that I'm safe and that I'm okay, and that I don't need to carry all these things with me, and that I have hope. I'm not I'm not so bad, like I'm okay, like I'm safe, I'm all right. Another thing that I did tell her that I didn't share in the other video was I have a problem with being nervous. I don't know if anybody has ever noticed at church or has ever noticed. I'm a very nervous person. And I did share that with her, that my husband started calling me out and my daughter started calling me out. So whenever I start acting like my dad and I start, being a little bit harder on my kids or whatever, my daughter will call me out and be like, okay, Willow. Or she'll be like, Mom, remember Willow? Like she'll tell me something like that. She'll call me out, right? And she'll let me know, hey, tone it down, right? And then my husband, when we're at church, sometimes we'll be sitting on the bench, and I'm like shaking the entire thing. So next time you guys are seeing me, I'm like doing this, okay? I'm like just moving, and just, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I like move my leg, and I'm just like constantly moving my leg. And he'll like, just so that I'm aware of what I'm doing, he will do this. He'll bounce on the thing, and I'm like, stop it. And he's like, well, he's like, he'll do this on purpose so that he knows that, so that I know I need to stop. Or like, he'll hold my leg, like for me to calm down. Before it was like, messing with my hair, or it was like biting on my nails, or like just biting. I would literally bite all of this. I don't know if you guys have ever seen my hands, but I bite all this. Okay. And I make myself bleed, guys. It's really, really bad. I don't know if anybody else has that, but I do that. And I wish I could stop. So I do have those things. I have those things. And so I did share them with her. And so that's why she says to not overthink things. That we all have fear, but we need to learn to control, like we need to just remember what are some of the worst things that can happen, like what, because I told her that my dad would always like tell my aunt, like, because she liked to travel and stuff, and my dad would always worry for her, and he'd like, what if the plane falls, or what if, and I would hear him say this, and she's like, well, too bad, like I'm still gonna keep doing it. And so that fear has always lived inside of me, like, what if I do this, or what if I do that? But when my dad passed away, I was able to go and travel a little bit. I was able to go to Utah and Colorado, and I was able to see Albuquerque, and I was able to see all these different places, the New Mexico, and some parts were scary, but I'm so glad I did it. I'm so glad that I did it, because I was like, oh my gosh, this is so, like, my eyes did not fit. They did not fit in the world. They were like, I was like, wow, like I was missing all this. Like what have I been doing my whole life? Like I really felt like, wow, like I was missing out on all this. I started doing that more because I see that a lot in my little sister. She is the kind of person that likes to travel, and she likes to, I wish I could, not that I wish, I'm trying to be more. She kind of inspires me. I'm not going to lie. She kind of inspires me to do those things. She brings out another side of me. Like I need to learn to be a little bit more, out, like getting out. And I try, but, my husband stops me a lot. And he was not on board with going to Utah, but I told him, o te vienes, o te quedas. And so I made him come. He ended up coming with me, and he was worried the whole time, but he got in the truck and we made it, and he enjoyed it. And now he tells people that we went here, we went there, and I want to do that again. We're not in a good situation right now, but I do want to do that again, because I know that it was like the hardest time in my life when I lost my dad, but I was able to do such cool things. Sorry. Going to Utah and going to Colorado and going to all those places is so healing, because you get to see all these beautiful things that God created. And I really needed that at that time. And since I had my husband sick at the same time, I was like, if I don't do this now and I lose him, I'm going to miss out on doing stuff with him. So I said, we're going to go. And I didn't care. And I took the chance, and I'm glad that I did, because we had a great time. So life is short, and we need to take advantage of the opportunities we have to do things. And I know they require money, and I know they require time, but we do need to learn to live more presently and enjoy life, because it's not about just, like the prophet says, it's not just about enduring life. We have to learn to live life and enjoy it, not just endure it. We need to learn to have some happy. And I just feel like I've just had so much sadness. A lot of good things, but a lot of sadness. I know my kids have gone through a lot. And so I want to just provide the best I can for them. Even like I tell my husband, it's okay, babe, you don't have to go to work. Let's just go live in a cardboard box. And he laughs at me and he tells me, really, babe? But sometimes he gets so tired of working that he tells me, yeah, I'll go live in a cardboard box, but make sure it's a Home Depot one because that one's built better. You know, I tell him, he's like, but what are we going to do with this? Or what are we going to do with that? I'm like, well, I have a canopy. It doesn't really have to be a box. He just starts laughing. He's like, well, we can go somewhere like Colorado, or we can go somewhere where it's like better weather and we could just, you know, we can get like a small little place. And we just start dreaming about things that we could do and get away from all the stuff. We don't need all this stuff. We don't need to. I want to live a more simple life. I enjoy having the things I have, but at the same time, I'm like going through this therapy and I just feel overwhelmed with so much stuff. I just want, I feel like it's my brain, like the clutter I see in my home is what I feel in my brain. And I just want to get rid of it. I want to get rid of it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of all the clutter in my head. I'm tired of all the clutter in my home. I want to live more simple. I want to live more present. I want to live more happy. So that was my therapy, guys. And there's probably a lot more, but I am just becoming a mess right about now. And I don't want to cry on here because it's a little embarrassing. And two, it's kind of hard to be open and vulnerable in front of people. I know it might serve somebody, it might help somebody, but I don't want to keep living in the past and I don't want to keep dwelling on it. I don't want to keep going there. I am trying to bring new content, new things to you, happier things. I don't want to share any of those things anymore. I see them sometimes on my Facebook. Sometimes I will, just so that people know why I share what I share, but I don't want to live there anymore. I already passed that. It gave me a lot of good. It taught me a lot of lessons, but I don't want to live there anymore. I want to live more present. And you know, it's funny because I was able to see that. Because before I didn't want to come on camera because I didn't feel pretty enough or skinny enough or ya estaba más vieja. I didn't know how to come back on camera. And I was sharing that with her today. I told her I didn't know how to come back on camera. I didn't know how to be like, hey guys, you know, after you guys saw I lost my dad, you know, I didn't know how to come back. I didn't know how to like figure it out. And now that I'm doing this therapy, I see a huge difference. I've lost some weight. I can see a huge difference. I actually, even with my gray hair, I was struggling, but I do my makeup and I can see that it's looking prettier. I see a strong person. I see a brave person. I see a beautiful person. Even with all my flaws. Like yesterday I was at Old Navy with my kids. And I was taking my daughter around just so she could see some dresses. We weren't going to buy anything, but I wanted her to see some dresses. And she wanted to try them on, even though she knew she wasn't going to buy any. But she wanted to try them on, and so I let her try on the dress. And she looked so pretty in her youth, and, you know, she looked so cute. And I loved watching her try it on and putting it on and, you know, posing and everything. And I would pass by the mirrors because you know how Old Navy has these really big mirrors. And I would pass by the Old Navy mirrors, and my son would look at himself and I would look at myself, right? And I liked what I saw up here, but I felt like, yeah, I'm not what I used to be, right? My body has changed. I look different. And I was kind of starting to cut myself down a little bit. But when I came back home and I saw the pictures I had taken and I had posted, I was like, wow, you know, I look beautiful. I feel beautiful. I need to stop doing that to myself. Because one, my body works. You know, I'm able to move. I'm able to do things with my kids. I'm able to do things that I couldn't do before. You know? So, and my husband, when he saw me, he was just like looking at me and he's like, esos ojitos, like he couldn't stop staring at me. He just thought I was just so beautiful. And he kept telling me all night, like, how beautiful I looked. He didn't want me to take off my makeup and stuff. And he always makes me feel pretty. And so we need to remember to not cut ourselves down either. You know, we need to be happy where we're at and just embrace it and love ourselves and not worry about all those dumb things that come to our brain. And so this is really helping me release a lot of that. It's helping me to let go of all that stuff, to let go and just be more at ease, because it's just so much to carry. I carry so much, and there's so much pain there that I've shoved down so deep that it's hard to bring it up and to just let it out a little bit at a time. But I know it's helping me. I know it's preparing me. And I know that it'll serve somebody. Might help serve somebody. But even if it doesn't, it's helping me. And so I know you guys enjoy watching a lot of my makeup videos. And I appreciate you guys doing that. I try my best to do things that bring me joy. And so that's how I can come back on camera to do things that bring me joy. And sometimes it's hard because, you know, you have to prepare for them and you have to kind of be entertaining and try to, like, you know, keep an audience. But I've learned to just, like, not pay attention. And it's not that I'm trying to be rude, but I try not to pay attention so much to, like, the likes or the views or like all those things. This is my job. This is what I do. I create content. I get to work from home so that I can spend time with my kids. So sometimes I do worry about it, you know, but sometimes it's like, pues ni modo, you know, I'm going to put it out there porque yo quiero. Because I want to, you know, and whoever wants to watch it can watch it. Y si no tienen tiempo ahorita, pues they can see it later. You know, it's fine. Y si no les gusta, pues también, it's fine. There's so many other videos out there, but I'm doing this for me and, you know, for the people who do enjoy seeing my content and enjoy seeing the things I create. I come here completely real and completely to the best of my ability. I try to come here with a humble heart, with a loving heart, and to bring lots of positivity and help whoever I can. But no a todos les voy a caer. And why they're on my channel, I'm not really sure. But I hope that whatever I do share and it helps you and it serves you and it teaches you, then I've done my job. And that's all I ever want to do, is just be a light and help others and teach what I know. And yeah, because I know a lot of these videos helped me when I was struggling, when I had my dad sick or my husband sick and I was in hospitals and everything. I was entertained by people who brought me joy, who brought me some sort of light. And that's all I'm trying to do. Honestly, I don't need anybody to feel pity or anybody to feel sorry for me or anything like that. It's not even about that, because I feel like I'm a very strong person. And if I've been able to overcome all the things that I've gone through, then I don't need anybody's approval. You know, because I've gotten this far. You know, I'm going to be 45 in a couple of days, and I'm going to be 45 on the 28th of this month. It's my birthday month, guys. I'm going to be 45, and I think I'm pretty wise for my 45 years of life. And I could teach you guys a few things. If you let me. Como decía mi dad. A ver si levantan un librito. But no. Yeah, guys. So you don't have to go through what I've gone through. You know, learn to listen and learn to get some advice from others who have gone through things, because they will help you avoid a lot of pain and heartache. So, yeah. Anyway, I think that that's all I'm going to share about the therapy. If you guys want to watch the other video, I think I probably shared a little bit more over there, but I didn't cry over there, so I hate crying on camera. I don't like it. I hate it, but ni modo, es lo que sale. And maybe it comes out that way because that's what's needed for people to understand. And yeah. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm going to try my best to get it together before my husband comes home. I was invited to go to something. I don't know if we're going to make it or not, but I didn't even get to do a makeup video because I needed to get this done and fixed. I don't know if I'll do that or not. I don't even know. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry, guys, to have cried on here, but I just wanted to share the therapy part. But anyway. But my therapist did tell me that I need to stop being sorry. So I need to learn to stop saying sorry. It is what it is. So if I cried, it's because that's what I felt. And I needed to release some of that energy. So I'm going to try not to say I'm sorry anymore. It is what it is. That's what you guys come here for, to see a real person, a real life. And yeah, so that's what I'm giving you. So thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon. And thank you for supporting my page, and thank you for listening and taking the time out of your day to just spend time with me. So anyway, thanks for watching. Bye, guys.